what I'm doing, but I'm waiting for you. And girl, I waste my time and spend it on my wishes, just wishing.
Hello and welcome to Cali Legends Media. Okay, before I get started with this video, I want to thank all the subscribers. We had a huge influx of subscribers lately, and I really appreciate it. Our goal is hitting 10,000 subscribers, and you guys have been a lot of help, and I appreciate you, each and every one of you. To support the channel and without it costing anything, just try to hit that like button sometime between now and the video ends. If you like, you could hit it right now, and it really doesn't cost anything, but it's very uh, good for the content creators. It helps move their video through the algorithm and gets pushed out there to the public. Okay, so that being said, I'm going to get right into this, and I'm going to start by saying, for those of you who are regular watchers, you guys have seen the video about my homeboy Sleepy and what led to his demise, kind of, sort of, in a way. Of course, I can't speak about certain things and say certain things on social media, but you know that he was a good friend and his life was lost. After Sleepy, there was several lives lost here in the neighborhood. Okay, the last one was Cricket. Actually, a guy named Flaco got hit, and Cricket got unalive through this encounter. Okay, and today my wife and we went out to go pick up a pizza at I believe it was Pizza Hut, and some cinnamon buns, like those Cinnabons, uh, cinnamon buns. They're bomb. Yeah, if you haven't tried them, you guys got to try them. They're really good, especially if they're hot. You drink them with some cold milk, they hit the spot. Anyways, during that ride, we noticed ambulance and paramedics, fire engines, and police officers in a certain section on Whittier and Atlantic. Now, most of the stuff that I've been reporting on has been between the 710 and Whittier Boulevard and Atlantic and Whittier Boulevard. Okay. It's gotten so bad that this Labor Day weekend, I wanted to take my car out. My son came over with his wife, and just them and my wife and I, we barbecued some carne asada, some pollo, and some ribs, right? And we decided to take a cruise. And when we were out and about, we noticed there was no cars out in the street, So I stopped by some people that are usually informed when something's, event or a cruising event's going to happen. And I was told that due to the violence and the danger that exists right now, a lot of the people decided just to skip this Labor Day and just to kick it. There's been a lot of lives lost and or people that were very badly injured by gunplay, And back in the days, that was par for the course. That was just all part of Whittier Boulevard. There was always shootings, fighting, people getting unalive, people jumping off their cars with bumper jack and crowbars and all of that. But that was never really part never was intended to be part of the cruising scene. The cruising scene was something that people like to do, like myself when I was out with my wife and my son and his wife, and we're kicking back, cruising, listening to music. I was hoping to get a video done. My son shot some videos. He hasn't sent them to me yet. But basically, we were out there, maybe 3 cars at the most. In any case, the area has gotten very, very hot in recent days. There was also a young man that unalived himself um, for whatever his personal reasons were. Uh, I believe he was from Maywood. I'm not going to say where he was from, what barrio he was from, but he was from that area. And they had a car wash for him uh, last weekend on Atlantic Boulevard and Whittier. So I didn't get my car washed. I just went by and I donated some money after verifying that something actually, took place, because that's been a way for people to scam people. It's a shame, but yeah, they use that to scam people these days. Like you don't know who to trust. But this was a legitimate disaster that had happened. He was a father of a very small baby, cute little baby. I seen a picture of him holding his son, and it was just all bad. It's a shame that somebody so young would feel the way he felt, to feel he had to do something that serious, that critical. But it happens, and it happens more often than we like to believe. Um, I've had homeboys, daughters, sons, nieces, and nephews uh, hurt themselves, just due to the way life is and the way they feel about it. And it's a shame. Uh, but like, I'm only one person, and like I just feel like there's really very little that I can do, but it doesn't stop me from trying to leave a positive word, trying to bring some attention to these situations that do take place um, in the younger generation that is going through the same obstacles and troubles that we went through growing up in the exact same area. It's a terrible thing. And so today when we were driving, we noticed the tape and everything, and I was asking if that was one of the homies. That's always my first question, because it's here in the barrio. It's just like a stone's throw away from me. But we were able to find out what the situation was, just not who it was, which isn't really important at this point, because the guy was unalived, and that's the worst part of this whole scenario. My wife went over to the yellow line, like I tell you, like she's gonna be doing some photography for me, and maybe some interviewing for me, and get and start participating more in this on this channel. It's her channel, um, and she shares it with me. But basically, she went in to go take some pictures, and she was flabbergasted. Dude was still laying there in the alley. Already some hours had gone by to where and we don't even know how long he was in there, because I guess when they found him, he was already a little bit. His legs were swollen, his arms were swollen, and his face are swollen. Because I talked to a homie that had walked back there and seen the dude and couldn't identify him. And then I talked to the wife of Cricket, who had walked back there and walked right up on the body, and she just like wigged out, turned around, and boned out. It was just too much, too soon. For her to go and see somebody else in that condition, laying there. In any case, I think I had mentioned that driving around, I seen a lot of memorials, uh, candles with pictures and signs and mementos and pillows and all kinds of stuff that they leave in remembrance for, and just to show love to their loved ones that have passed. And there's quite a bit of them around the neighborhood. Things have really changed in a very short time. So that being said, I just want to say, to the people, especially to the people that live here in the Maravilla area, that like we got to stop doing this to each other. You know what I mean? I think in this case that happened today, I was told that the guy was from Florencia or from the Florence area. It's still not clear. It's too soon, but in any case, it doesn't matter. To me, it doesn't matter. Dude lost his life, and no matter how you cut that up, man, it's a terrible thing. And I just wanted to share this video, man, to just ask everybody to think for a minute, man. Like, we're doing this to our own people. If you're selling and you're dealing out there in the streets and you're pushing shit, you're doing that to your own people, man. You're just poisoning them. And I'm guilty of that. Growing up, that was my way to earn money and stuff, and I'm ashamed to say, but that's the truth of it. And I was poisoning my own people. I was bringing down my homeboys to another level beneath them. Not thinking about it, only thinking about the hustle, thinking about the get down that I was involved with. And even though I learned it from the older homies, and watching, and I wanted a nice car. I've always had nice cars. I wanted nice things, gold and money in my pocket and all that, but at what cost? So I'm just hoping that whoever's involved with that type of lifestyle and stuff, just give it a second thought of who are really hurting, especially if you're selling that to your own homeboys. You know what I mean? You're gonna just only bring down those that you're gonna have to count on one day, by getting them strung out or supporting that drug habit by selling dope to them. If the wrong thing to think is, well, they're gonna get it somewhere else. If I don't, they're gonna do it anyways. Let them go somewhere else and do that shit. You know what I mean? Because all we're doing is just hurting our people, and that's the truth of it. Anyways, with that being said, I'm gonna end this video. God bless you. God bless your families, your loved ones, and hopefully you don't have to go with the pain and sorrow of losing somebody to the streets, to gunplay, to some chemical, that just robs them of their life. And just be careful. Don't end up losing your freedom over some bullshit. Because the best place to be is out here, where we could support our loved ones and be there for them when they need us. That being said, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to hit that like button, and I hope to see you on the next video. And like I said, man, most of all, God bless you and your family. Let's keep an eye on the kids. There's a lot of sick people out there doing sick things to these little kids, you know, and we're seeing it with baby Manuel and other children. You know, it's just rampant and it's horrible. So let's keep an eye on stuff like that, you know, and we have to step in. Let's step in and put a stop to it, man, because a lot of times, man, the government's not going to do it, you know. They failed a lot of people. A lot of people just recently that their children have lost their lives to abuse. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Thank you. God bless you.